You want to see what I'm up to, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? Don't you what you got with a heart like me? Oh, we're live. Hello, everybody. Let's take these off. These glasses. Oh, actually, I kind of might need them low key because, oh my god. Hi, guys. I know I'm on a little bit late. Hello. Hello, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hey guys, so what's up? Welcome to Big Snap Dark. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped, and turned on. I'm your host, Atisha Yofo. If you guys have not already joined the fam, please make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button and click the button next to it. Dink, that way you guys are notified every time I go live. So, what we're going to be discussing today, for the most part, is Mercury has moved into Cancer, probably about an hour ago or so. And so I wanted to break down a separate video, like I said I was going to do earlier. I did get caught up. I had some other things I was going to do, but we're here, right? So, if you guys are new here, what I do is I do I do timestamps. That way you guys can actually, skip through the video. So for today, what I'm going to be discussing, you guys, make sure your resolution is like kicked up on your YouTube. Like sometimes it gives like 140 whatever, and go all the way up to go to the highest, 7s, 1700s, or 1000s, as far as that goes, because it's been glitching for a lot of people. So anyways, hopefully that helps. So anyways, I'm going to do timestamps. So basically pretty much for the most part, what I'm going to be discussing is, we're going to talk about, let me pull up my notes here, because I do have some notes that I did way earlier, like hours ago. So clearly we're going to talk about Mercury and Cancer, but we're going to go over the signs that's going to be the most affected. We're going to go tap into educating ourselves about Mercury just a little bit. And then we're going to talk about Mercury in Cancer. And also, too, if you are a person that in your natal chart, you already have Mercury in Cancer, so this is going to be amplified for you. This is going to be a familiar kind of an energy, kind of a vibe. So it's kind of like you would be the person that we all need to kind of low-key follow in a sense, right? If you're a higher octave. And then the positive and negative aspects, of course, I'm always going to talk about that as far as the energy. And then I'll go into it based on your sun, moon, or rising, however you want to pertain it to, what to look out for, positive and negative. And then also I'll break down the houses, okay? Because like I know for me right now, my Mercury is going through my 7th house because I'm a Cap rising. So remember, all the planets will be moving. So it's your homework to do your due diligence. So you should know your information and have your your things printed out. That way you know what the deal is and what's going on, okay, as far as that goes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, guys, because I'm not going to stay on too long. It is low-key a little bit late. I do have an eventful day for tomorrow, so that's why I want to get this video out to you as well. All right, so Mercury in Cancer. So Mercury is known as the communicator, okay? It rules Gemini daytime and also Virgo nighttime. That way you guys are aware. It also rules 3rd house, which is the house of communication. Mercury is going to be in Cancer until July 11th of 2023. Okay. So pretty much for the most part, it's going to be EI over AI. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. So emotional intelligence over artificial intelligence. I don't know why I made that joke, because I feel like artificial intelligence is more like air energy, where it's like all about the intellect and what kind of makes sense. But no, it's going to be the opposite, because Sun in Cancer and Mercury also in Cancer, which is water energy. So more about emotions right now. Okay. So air signs are like more logical, right? If you think about it. So we're not going to be in the logical side. We're going to be more in the emotional side, okay? So the signs that will be affected the most, Cancer. I'm just putting it straight on top, Cancer. Because Cancer and Mercury is going to amplify the natural habits of Cancer, right? The natural traits of Cancer, I should say. Sorry, I said habits. Ugh. The natural traits and characteristics of. So, this vitamin C juice is so good. So Cancers, you guys may experience, heightened emotions during this time because it's your season. Also, we have Mercury. It's how we converse with other people, and also your thoughts, right? Stronger connection to your intuition during this time as well. So hopefully you're a higher octave Cancer that we can kind of emulate during this time in Cancer season. If you're not, go sit in the corner. You guys might find yourself a little bit more focused on your home and family, as well as your emotional well-being. Capricorns, this is going to be the opposite sign of Cancer. So when Mercury is in Cancer, this is going to create an opposition aspect. So that's why we had to bring up Capricorn. So this is going to bring a little bit of tension and challenges for you guys. For my Capricorn. Sorry, Cappies. But some of you guys may experience some conflicts during this time, okay? And it's between, I would say, your emotional needs versus your practical needs, or I would say like towards your professional goals. So it's really time that you may need to find a little bit of a balance between your personal and your professional life, because the lines can get blurred. Ooh, excuse me. Aries, this is going to form a square aspect, squares like boxing, with Cancer. So this is going to create a clash between you being assertive, and you may feel like, how you guys are very like action oriented kind of a nature. So, I feel like, and the more nurturing and intuitive energy of Mercury and Cancer, you might have to navigate conflicts as well between your desire for independence and the need for an emotional connection at this time. Okay. And then also, as I said, I already talked about air signs already. So let's talk about what is Mercury. If you guys haven't watched my planet videos, please go ahead and watch those playlists, guys. I have those playlists for y'all. But just a little quick insert, just a reminder, a little refresher, right? The little details of Mercury. Mercury is like the messenger of the cosmos for the most part. It's all about communication. It's all about expression. It's all about our thoughts, ideas, the way that we think. So it's like the brain of all the planets. It's like, always buzzing with ideas and thoughts, right? So Mercury's kind of like the gift of gab, so it's quick, it's clever, it helps us really express ourselves with style, with swag, Ew, swag. Why did I just say swag? Oh, Lord Jesus. I've been using that word the past week. I don't know where it came from. It's the planet that rules how we talk, how we text, how we express ourselves, how we slide in the DM, pretty much for the most part. So it's all about communication game, right? From the way that we spit what we say to the people, to our friends while we're at business events, while we're in the midst of meeting people we've never met before, whoever you're conversing with. We all have different ways that we speak, different dialects as well, things of that nature. So Mercury's just not about talking though. Just FYI. It's also about thinking and learning, kind of like, it's like a scholar. We're always trying to low-key like seek knowledge, right? So with that being said, Mercury, think of like we're always trying to make connection in some form or fashion for some reason in our lives, right? So it's the planet that kind of keeps our mental gears turning, right? This is what helps us process information. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. And make sense of the world. So Mercury doesn't like to stay put. And if you think about it, while the sun is in Cancer and now Mercury's in Cancer, woo, it's super close to the sun right now. That's a problem. So it's always on the move, and it can kind of switch up energy really quick. Okay, that's why hence it's only going to be there for, what are we already in, like the end of July, and it's going to be only for a quick little visit. Okay. Anyways, so how do I say this? Mercury's got a whole wardrobe of personalities, right? Clearly, hence why it rocks every sign. So now that we know that the cosmic messenger, you know, it helps us to really stay connected, stay sharp, keep everything flowing, thoughts popping, you know how it goes. So Mercury in Cancer, okay? Like I said, if you already have this placement in your natal chart, this is just going to be amplified for you. It's going to feel like home. It's going to feel comfortable. Hopefully in your higher octave, you would be a person that we would love to emulate. And you can kind of teach us a few things here about emotional intelligence. But if you're in the lower octave, you wouldn't be so helpful during this time. So when Mercury slides into Cancer, which it already is right now, it's all about our emotions and deep connections at this time, okay? People will definitely be in touch with their feelings during this time as well, and looking for emotional connections with other people. It's going to be a time for a lot of folks to really express themselves, you know, be a little bit more empathetic, be more compassionate with the way that we speak, a little bit more sensitive on the sensitive side, right? Because it's Cancer energy, it's a water energy. Conversations are going to be on a whole nother level, okay? It's going to be filled with more heartfelt talks and understanding for the most part. I literally made a joke earlier and I was like, okay, since it's really more so about our emotions, well, then the name of the game would be to be more telepathic and just like utilizing body language and eye rolling and the whole hand gestures and head movements and everything is going to be totally make a difference right now. So, you know, so people are going to really express and share their emotions, their struggles, their desires, you name it. It's going to be a time to really nurture one another and support each other during this time. Also, this is a grand time to do shadow work because with this sun and Mercury, and also Mercury in Cancer, it's a really grand time to do some shadow work because of the nurturing aspect of it all, the maternal aspect of it all. It can provoke lots of healing. And a lot of people don't like to be cerebral or analytical during this time. That's why air signs may have a little bit of trouble. They might cause more ruckus than help any situation during this time because people are more in their emotions in a different way and they show it the total opposite. So this is a grand time to possibly do some shadow work and get things done. I think this would be a perfect time to really dig out the roots and figure out your triggers and just handle all of that right now because you can kind of nurture yourself in a better space right now this time, okay? So it's kind of like right now we all need to really create a safe space for one another, you know, so that way everyone can express themselves and be a little bit more vulnerable than we ever had before. Some people don't like to be vulnerable, hence the name of the game, but I think it's, you know, important that we do. But there's a flip side too. You know, some people might be a little bit too sensitive. They might be too much in their feelers. You know, they might be easily triggered. Emotions can run really high, which can lead to lots of mood swings. I did touch on this yesterday, just a little bit. If you watched my video, go watch it. So many people can overreact during this time as well when Mercury's in Cancer. So we got to be mindful to not take things too personal during this time. I try not to take things personally anyways. I try and promote that to you guys as well. And try not to get too defensive, okay? Because we don't know somebody's story. So overall, it is a really it's a really good time to invest in those deep emotional connections, okay? During Cancer season with Mercury in Cancer right now. We got to really listen to our hearts, pay attention to body language, pay attention to our intuition and our gut. Okay, this is going to be the trusting factor. This is where you can really test your intuition and your gut right now during this time too. Okay, when you feel something, I say go on it. It's worth questioning. It's worth diving deep into when you feel some, when you just know some, you know what I'm saying? Like really tap into that because this is the season for that. We may not have words to explain or express during this time. That's why I'm trying to keep it real simple, even just explaining the video. So we got to really listen to our hearts, okay? Let our emotions guide us in a sense, okay? So that's why, you know, let's just keep it real. Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. Let's be authentic. Let's show love as much as possible, and build genuine connections while Mercury's sitting in Cancer here, okay, during this Cancer season. Now, on a positive aspect, as far as our self, okay, during this transit, like I said, self-reflection and introspection, shadow work, and all the things will be a grand ideal setup, okay? If you can't deal with and talk to whoever, you know what I'm saying? It's best to just go within and kind of like work on self during this time, okay? And learn to really express your emotions if you don't know how to do so. More openly, okay? This is like for yourself, this is how you can help yourself grow, okay? I know some people, you know, whoa, we have a grand old time together. We have so much fun kicking it. It's always a grand time and yada yada. But when it comes to emotions, it's like non-existent. So people that don't have emotional intelligence, it may be a little bit difficult to converse with other people during this time, okay? You can just, you know, they can increase their self-awareness right now and deepen their connection with their self. That would be the best way to go. As far as love and relationships with Mercury and Cancer, like I said, being a little bit more empathetic and nurturing those connections that you actually care about would be ideal during this time. Being a little bit more gentle within conversation when you're speaking to your lover or loved ones, okay, or people that you care about. You know, express your feelings and be very open and honest, and create more of a supportive environment for one another, okay, within your connections. Like I always like to call it an open door policy. Is going to be very beneficial. This transit, as far as money goes, as far as career goes, you know, this can really encourage you to be a little bit more intuitive. And you got to remember, we're gonna be a little bit emotionally driven towards our approach with things. So you got to be careful not to do retail therapy is what they like to call it. You know, buying off of emotion. This is how a lot of ads get you to buy something, whether this ad is on YouTube, TikTok, or television. Okay. You know, they can really scoop you in, reel you in with their emotions and just trigger you right there. And you're like, you know what, I'm going to buy it. So you got to be kind of careful, especially while the moon is in Libra right now at this time. So, you know, it may help you though, make some financial decisions based on your emotional well-being and your security as far as that goes. So trust your gut, right? And your instincts, when considering your financial matters. That can be very beneficial. Like if you feel like, you know, you got some guy coming over to help you fix your water heater and you're like, I think they're trying to get over on me, get another opinion and get another opinion after that. And then another one too. And then collectively look at all of it and be like, yeah, I knew that something wasn't right with dude. He's going to charge me an arm and a leg. And this guy's going to charge me this much for this much labor. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of helps sometimes. As far as like if you have a job or you're building a business, in that aspect, as far as with Mercury and Cancer, it may be time for you to kind of pursue some tasks or how do I say it? Oh, my leg. Pursue tasks that really align with your values and provides a sense of emotional satisfaction. You know, a lot of us are, well, I would say majority of people could be working at jobs that they don't really fancy right now during this time, or they just may have some type of feeling about it. So find some way to make sure that you're emotionally supported, because mental health is going to be very key during Cancer season. So, you know, make sure you put care into whatever it is that you're working on, especially if you're working on creative projects and things of that nature, or however you're bringing home the bacon. You know, like put more care into the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Go hard for yourself if you haven't gone hard at all. You know what I'm saying? And have a little bit more empathy for other people as well when you're working amongst others too. Okay. Now, as far as the negative aspects, as far as yourself, I would say, you know, it can be a little bit challenging to try and detach from your feelings. Because it's like we're low-key all kind of forced to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like to go within as far as our emotions. So, you know, we have to find a balance. Okay? We don't want to be acting out. We got to be rational and not, shoot, I got a cramp in my leg. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. That hurts. Sorry. Real life, we're live. Live on Channel 5. Becoming, I don't know what I did to my leg. I shouldn't have sat like that. Becoming overly sensitive or reactive could be a theme right now too. So we got to kind of be careful with that. Because especially if you're in a loving connection with someone, right? A romantic partnership, you know, I just feel like as far as any kind of ship that you're sailing right now at this time, just Sun in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, you know, emotions can fly high. We can kind of fly off the handle with certain things, miscommunication, you know, people being extra sensitive. Normally your lover or somebody would laugh at that, and now they'd be like, why'd you say that? You know, so little whiny babies coming out, you know what I'm saying? So we got to regulate our emotions. It's very crucial during this time because we can have little tit for tats or get emotional over certain things that don't even matter. As far as, you know, the negative side to the career, it might be difficult setting aside your personal things that you're facing at home. You might bring home to work or work to home. Real easy. Like, I know people sometimes kind of do it. Some people are really good at separating that. But some people might look to people at work and you might be telling your business when you shouldn't be telling your business to certain people at work. You know what I'm saying? Because later on you're going to regret it after this transit moves. You're like, damn, why did I tell them that shit? Now they're all up in my business. You know what I'm saying? And some people, they might not know how to express, you know, what you're telling them. They might not know how to respond. You know what I'm saying? So it might be overwhelming. You may cloud your judgment. Okay. So let's talk about as far as your sun, moon, or rising, however you want to play it out. Aries. So your emotions will come to the forefront. Okay, allowing you to really connect with other people. Oh, I'm sorry, my leg is hurting. Oh, on a deeper level. So you got to be really open to that. Okay, be open to that. Really embrace nurturing this side of yourself. Okay, really express your feelings in an authentic way. Now, the negative side to this, Aries, would be you got to watch out to not be so impulsive when you react to people and what they say, because you Aries, you know, y'all can be very hot-headed, so you got to be careful of that. So instead, take a moment, reflect, and wait a minute before responding. So you'd have to low-key kind of like practice patience, I would say, when you're conversing with other people. Let's see here. Taurus. So Taurus, your intuition is definitely going to be heightened. It's going to help you make some sound financial decisions for yourself. So trust your gut and your instincts, as I was speaking about earlier. Really focus on your emotional security during this time, especially when it comes to your money matters, okay? Don't be too stubborn or resistant to change right now during this time either, okay? Instead, just be open to different perspectives, and really consider more of like an innovative approach to enhance your financial situation during this time. Gemini, your communication skills are going to be enhanced, allowing you to really express your emotions with eloquence if you're in the higher octave. Now, remember, you're an air sign. You can embrace deeper conversations. Some have the ability to do so. If you have the emotional intelligence, you could be very curious about how other people are feeling. Remember, to the negative side of this, things may not look logical or appear logical to you. You may think people are talking mumbo jumbo, So you have to avoid being just superficial because you feel like you may not be able to go deep with people. So here you go gossiping in the superficial conversations. You might even be scattered brained because you're seeing people how they're just not making sense to you. Because remember, more people are in their emotional intelligence versus utilizing their intellect right now at this time. So you got to have active listening skills. So this would be a grand time to let your partner talk or your friend talk or your coworker and just be just sit back, relax, and chill. Grab the popcorn and allow other people to speak. You know what I'm saying? That would be the best idea for all air signs right now. Just listen to other people's concerns, listen to their experiences. I'm not saying like be super quiet or close your mouth, but maybe think of what you're going to say before you say it, because you might do more harm than good. Cancer. Of course, this is already talked to you guys in the beginning, but you know, we'll go over a little bit of again. Of course, this element is going to be in your in your sign. So you know, heightened emotional awareness for you, a lot more empathy. Nurture your relationships, express how you feel, be open and honest with yourself, and be very authentic during this time. Be cautious of being overly defensive or clingy. Okay, you can become a stage 5 clinger during this time. All right. Make sure you set healthy boundaries, practice self-care routines for yourself, and maintain being open and honest with other people. Okay. What else? Leo. So Leo, your creativity may soar. Your romantic endeavors as well might be infused with a little bit more passion. Express your emotions, you know, wholeheartedly. You can pretty much, there we go, inspire others during this time. Okay. So on the flip side to that, just watch out for excessive ego or attention-seeking behavior. Instead, you know, share the spotlight. Be genuine when you're listening to other people. Give them your full attention. Maybe some eye contact playing out there. You know what I'm saying? To your loved ones. You know, as far as, and you know, going after your desires. Virgo. So your attention to detail is going to be complemented by the emotional intelligence. So this could benefit you as far as at work and as far as your health goes. Okay, so really embrace practices of self-care routines, show a little bit more compassion and support. You know, you kind of low-key already do that. On the flip side, you know, don't fall into the trap of being a perfectionist, and you know, being very critical either. Okay, you can criticize others and yourself. Okay. So, you know, practice having a little bit of compassion during this time. Libra, your relationships may thrive during this time, the ones that you set at a high priority. Okay, so you'll have a little bit more emotional understanding, have a little bit more harmony within your connections during this time, because you strive, you know, to play it fair, you know, and have everything balanced. If you have the moon in Libra, I did that video earlier. Watch it. Everybody go watch it. But you can balance your own interactions and value your own needs. Okay. On the negative side to this, avoid being, you know, indecisive, of course, you know, people pleasing tendencies. Be aware of that, Libra. Set your boundaries, make decisions, be decisive, making sure it aligns with your emotional well-being. Okay. Scorpio. So Scorpio, this is going to deepen your emotional connections. It's going to really enhance the ability for you to transform. Okay. You know, you can embrace being a little bit more vulnerable. You can foster, you know, tapping into more intimate connections, like getting more intimate, you know what I'm saying, with your connections with people. Now, the negative side to this, with this energy, you may be able to butter the biscuit to where you might become manipulative or secretive during this time. So instead, practice trust, be honest with your communication, and allow yourself to others to really express their emotions freely. Okay. Sag. So you might be influenced by your emotional growth. I know you guys don't really like to really tap into your emotions like that. So you might be, you know, finding yourself, trying to expand yourself personally in that area, okay, to seek some type of emotional fulfillment, all right, as far as maybe like in your adventures. But on the negative side to this, don't let you being a little bit too blunt or honest get in the way, okay, because you could hurt other people's feelings. Like, for example, if someone's trying to be emotionally vulnerable with you, you might just laugh and be like, ha ha ha, you stupid as hell. Like, you got to be careful, Sag, okay? Have a little bit of empathy and tact when you're talking to people. Capricorn, um, your emotional fulfillment is going to be possibly in your career and public image. Okay, so align your professional path with your values and to really express your emotions in an authentic way. You don't want to overdo anything during this time. You don't want to do something just because you care about somebody and you're trying to show them something, and really it may backfire on you because they might not even care about it. You know what I'm saying? So don't become too cold or rigid in your approach when you're dealing with people. Instead, be a little bit more vulnerable, you know, and have like an emotional connection to coexist with your professional life. Have a balance. Aquarius, your friendships and your social circles might be enriched during this time. So Aquarius, you're supposed to be a socialite and be out there and meeting people and all the things. So this may help you embrace that a little bit more on an empathetic level. Embrace your emotional authenticity, support your friends, things of that nature, and avoid detaching yourself at this time. Do the opposite. Use this energy to help you, because you could become aloof and like, I don't want to talk to nobody, and just kind of like, I don't want to be in my feelings, goodbye, you know what I'm saying? You might just go somewhere else. So learn how to really actively engage in conversations to gain that emotional connection and let people know that you can be emotional too, and show genuine interest in that you have feelings if you have any, especially if you have a lover or somebody that you're dealing with, okay? That way you can have a good experience with them. Pisces, so your spirituality and intuition is going to be amplified because we're in another water sign energy, right? So this is going to guide you to grow inward and self-reflect possibly as well. You may embrace a little bit of solitude. You might want to low-key kind of be to yourself during this time. You know, listen to your inner wisdom, your intuition to guide you during this time. But watch out for, you know, you don't want to become like an escape artist, you know what I'm saying, and live on fantasy island and become a little bit too passive, aggressive with your feelings. Instead, ground yourself into reality, Pisces, okay? And take practical steps towards your goals, maybe transmute the energy, you know, channel your emotions into something creative. Have creative outlets, everybody, okay? Let's kind of go into the houses, guys. I just did like a general for people that just want to click general on other signs. Maybe you might want to know about somebody else. That's just general, but more in depth is knowing your rising sign. So I'm going to talk about the houses. If you know your rising, so Aries rising is going to be in your 4th house. Taurus rising, your 3rd house. Gemini rising, your 2nd house. Cancer rising, of course, 1st house. Leo rising, 12th house. Virgo rising, 11th house. Libra, wait, did I say that right? Virgo rising, 11th house. Libra rising, 10th house. Scorpio rising, 9th house. Okay. Sag rising, 8th house. Cap rising, 7th house. Aquarius rising, 6th house. And Pisces rising, 5th house. Okay. So let's talk about the houses. So 1st house, we all know 1st house is of self. So if Mercury is transiting in Cancer in your 1st house, you're going to be all up in your feelings. You're going to be all up in your emotions because this is the house of self. Okay. So, you're going to be more with your feelings. You know, you're going to be able to express yourself and be a little bit more nurturing. You'll probably be extra sensitive. You'll probably have way more compassion than anybody else for the most part. Focus on self-care routines. You can grow emotionally within this house. Like I said, this is a perfect time for kind of pretty much everyone to do shadow work, but this would be ideal for you as well. If you have trouble with expressing yourself, you can do some shadow work and go in and go deep. You know, but watch out for being overly sensitive, overly emotional, you know, stage 5 clinger, or overly reactive in the first house. Second house is about money and possessions, right? So when Mercury cruises through Cancer and here, your financial decisions are going to be driven by your emotions. So like I said, don't do any retail therapy. Be careful when you on that Amazon cart, okay? And you all up in your feelings. Well, I don't care. I'm just going to buy my way into anything. Especially right now, if you guys are like, this is not the time to be getting like, you know, going to do surgeries like and things of that nature, especially because we have the pre-shadow of Venus. And then Venus is going to go retrograde, because after that transit, you may regret any type of surgery that you got on yourself based off of, you know, retail therapy and buying off your emotions because you feel a certain way. Be careful of that. So anyways, just be careful. Trust your gut instincts, especially when it comes to your financial forecast and any opportunities that you're tapping into at this time. When it's in your second house, focus on finding emotional security when you're making financial choices and balancing out your desires versus, you know, whatever priorities that you have for yourself. Stay practical. What's that saying that people say? Stay dangerous. So third house. Mercury likes to be in the third house, but it's in Cancer. But if it's transiting in your third house here, this is a house of communication. So, you know, during this time, remember, it's all about emotional intelligence, right? So you're going to be more in tune with maybe probably like dealing with siblings. This is a house of siblings too. So this could be low-key like family, because you're going to be wanting to, you'll probably only want to tap in with people you know, like you know how someone feels already, you know who they are, you know what I'm saying? So family, you might be kind of close to. It's low-key, it's feeling like fourth house in a sense. But I feel like maybe it's conversations that you have, like you're intimate with, like this is best friends, you know what I'm saying? Like people that you're really close knitted with. And your conversation style, you may show a little bit of empathy. It's like you may literally put yourself in somebody else's shoes and put your feelings aside when it's in your third house, or it's telling you to. You should be a little bit more understanding or overstanding, okay? But also too, to allow people, you know, if you are open, you have the emotional intelligence in order to hear somebody out. Also, let them feel a little bit comfortable. That way you can break your walls down and, you know, be empathetic with them, and also share your feelings with open and honest communication. Now, you have to be careful. Watch out for being, you know, overly expressive or being moody when it comes to your communication style, or, you know, you don't want to get defensive, especially when you're interacting with other people. Fourth house, this is all about home and family. So this is a Cancer house. So Mercury will be chilling in Cancer over in here. So this is more of like, this is spotlight directly on family, home environment. It's all about nurturing, making a cozy environment for yourself. Just really like making it feel really good. You know what I'm saying? This is where you can have those like bonfire nights in the backyard, have those daytime family Sunday barbecues, you know, those intimate settings, those intimate conversations, which would probably be ideal for you. Engaging in those heart-to-heart convos with your loved ones. You know, just be careful not to be too clingy, and don't try and smother anybody either. This is like stage 5 clinger house for real. Some people might want their space, especially when it comes to family members or kids. You know, like now it's like, Mom, why do you want to hang out with me now? I have company. You know what I'm saying? You trying to like, I got snacks, guys. I've got pizza. You're all trying to be like the cool mom or dad and shit. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere. So you gotta kind of be careful. Kids might be like shutting you to get away or shooing you away. Fifth house. So fifth house is all about creativity and romance. So creative juices might flow, because now it's like more so, think of like, it's just how your avatar is reacting and responding, like in a sense to where like your thoughts, how you communicate. We're communicating with our eyes, head gestures, movements, more body language, I feel like, you know, but also, of course, emotional intelligence, but it's more of the intuitive side of it. You know, it's not so cerebral. So, um, you might be, you know, have a passion for whatever it is that you're tapping into. If you have any good creative outlets, you can get, you know, down and dirty and creative with what you got going on. Be artsy, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you like to paint or draw, or you know, you got a t-shirt company or whatever, you know, whatever it is, music, poetry, dancing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might really tap in, you play an instrument or whatever. People normally create some beautiful, beautiful things with this energy here, okay? In your romantic game might be on point too. But just remember, don't be like possessive or dramatic when it's in your 5th house. Just keep it real and let your emotions kind of guide you, okay? 6th house. So 6th house, we know it's all about work and health. So you're going to have a little bit of an emotional twist while Mercury's transiting in this house, because you're going to be more concerned about your emotional your fulfillment in your job or career, whatever that is you're tapping into. So you got to take care of your well-being, making sure that you get rest, you get those 8 hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, making sure you feel good. So pay attention to your feelings, how you're feeling at work. You don't want to cause yourself any stress, because this is where it can really get to your body during this time as well, okay? You got to find a balance between making sure you nurture yourself and also making sure you have the energy to get stuff done. 7th house, dun, 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 dun. This is the house of partnerships. So, in relationships, so we all know, like I said, Venus is in a pre-shadow. Now we have Mercury in Cancer. So relationships will be all about the emotions. It's all about the deep connections. You're going to be seeking a partner who understands you and your feelings, and vice versa, baby. Okay? Because if that ain't there, if they can't nurture your soul and whatever have you, you ain't going to feel it. Okay? So learn to be sensitive. Learn what real true empathy is. True empathy is when you can really set aside your feelings from your partner, whatever it is that you're going through in life, and really put yourself in their shoes and have no bias and just really be balls to the walls listening and intaking what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that word gets thrown around, but when I say it, I mean it. Like, I'm deep with that word. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for becoming too clingy as well in your connections, or overly dependent on your boo. Okay. So 8th house. 8th house is all about our intimate connections, shared resources, things of that nature. So this is a deep time to have, like, maybe I would say this would be more so a deep, what's the word I'm looking for? Deep emotional transformation. Yeah, I couldn't get that out. So, you'll be diving deep in your emotions, possibly just really exploring maybe intimacy on a whole new level. Like I said, it's more about the body language. Okay. Like, need I say more? I'm just gonna leave that right there. I ain't gonna say anything else, okay? So just make sure not to let your insecurities get in the way when it's in the house of 8. Okay? Embrace, you know, emotional growth, and don't drown, you know, in the intensity of it all. Remember, this is a Scorpio house, so breathe. 9th house. So 9th house is all about higher learning and travel, right? So, you know, your intellectual pursuits possibly will be infused with your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You might have a deep desire to really explore, I don't know, something about whatever it is that you're tapping into as far as learning, like books, educating yourself about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Diving real deep and learning something. Like, you might go deep in the esoteric world or something, or you might, I don't know, tap into some kind of deep knowledge about something. You might just super explore. I know I've been reading a lot more than normal lately. For a while now. I don't know, it's like my favorite pastime. It just takes me to another world when I'm reading. Anyway, so you might seek knowledge that really nurtures your soul right now during this time when it's in the house of 9. You know, I would say also too, as you're traveling, like maybe embrace some new experiences. Let's say, you know what, I've always kind of wanted to go in nature. I always kind of wanted to go hike or go to this lake or go to this cabin. So you might, you know, take a vacation and go somewhere or do something. Okay, so just don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Or, you know, when it's in the house of 9, you can become too narrow-minded as well. So be aware of that. 10th house. 10th house is all about public image and career. So you might be influenced by, like I said, tapping into more work that really aligns with your values, like your emotional well-being. Because if you feel good when you're putting work into something, the results are going to come out way better, right? Whether this is you building your own business, and even just making it comfortable for you at your space at work, whoever you're working for. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like public image, you know, you might be a little bit sensitive. You might be nurturing that a little bit more, like as far as how you're presenting yourself to the world when it comes to, you know, being in your bag. So just don't let your emotions like overshadow you. You know what I'm saying? You have to find a balance, especially when it comes to house 10 and its career and public image, you know, your whole financial situation. You might express yourself, you know, your emotions. You might get a little too emotional. Remember, they always say never mix your emotions with business. That's why I always say it's not personal, it's just business. Like you need to find a balance. Like it's good to be so into the people, places, and things when it comes to work and money and your finances, but there's a line you gotta draw. You know, you don't want to jack it up for everybody else and have, you know, and fire all your employees, or you get fired at your job, or tell everybody to go on strike and quit. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be careful. So yeah. 11th house. 11th house is all about our social connections, our friendships. So, you know, you and your crew, your little social circles you got going on, a little soul group or whatever have you, you know, it's all about the emotional connection, right? So you'll probably crave the deep aspects of any acquaintances. So this is like leveling up in those connections. If you see that they are of value to you, you guys are coming together like a zipper, you may want to deepen that, you know. Oh, okay, I can see them as a real true best friend, or, you know, I can do business with this person, I trust them, I like where they're taking me, like, you know what I'm saying? So use this energy to kind of deepen that, nurture those relationships, then see where they go, you know. Especially like people within your community, you know, that's 11th house stuff too. Like today I had a neighbor ask me if I wanted, I feel so bad, I didn't even go over there. Asked me if I want like an icy ice cone down a whole machine and everything. Oh, excuse me. And I didn't even go. I felt bad. I kind of like, oh, my cap rising. I wanted to go be on live with y'all earlier. Totally. And I was on the phone too. So anyways, so take charge. As far as that goes, focus on supporting your connections, giving people their flowers, uplifting them, you know, things of that nature. But watch out for being overly sensitive. Don't be possessive, you know. Well, they didn't invite me, so whatever. I thought you were going to invite me. You know what I'm saying? You might be over possessive of your squad. Okay, so you got to be a little careful. You give people space. You know what I'm saying? 12th house, this is all about, you know, our spirituality, your inner world. It's a Pisces house, so you know how that rolls. So you might dive deep, even deeper, like inner, you know, on the inner side of that. You know, super turned in, tapped in, and turned on as far as your intuition, you know, in the spiritual world. You don't want to stay, like, how do I say this? You don't really want to be in the spiritual, like, you don't want to be there 24/7. You could literally lose your mind and go crazy. Like you, I don't know how else to say it, but you're not really supposed to be there like that. It's good to be spiritual, like, you know, how we are right now, but it's like, Oh, I think that's a whole, I think I should do that as a whole separate video right now because I'm not going to be able to explain it right now during this time, especially Mercury in Cancer, okay? And my Mercury's in Pisces doesn't help. So just embrace your solitude, self-reflecting, tapping in, doing those things that you would like to do as far as spiritually speaking. Be careful not to let your emotions overwhelm you or become the escape artist in the house of 12 and look to vices and not want to people or deal with humans. Don't do anything that's unhealthy to you, right? Because you might want to, like I said, live on Fantasy Island and be like, the plane, what's in the sky? You know what I'm saying? Keep it balanced, my friend. Okay. I was gonna see what any cool aspects are playing out here as well. Oh no, where did the charts go? Here's the charts. Let's see. Aspects. Let's see here. Yeah, I would check. You know what? I actually did the video today as far as, what was I gonna say? Earlier that I did today, I talked about the aspects that are playing out today. So anyways, so I would check that out as far as aspects goes. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not gonna do any spread because it's kind of late. So I'm gonna go, and I want to make sure that you, got to get this message as far as Mercury and Cancer goes right now for this transit. So after the live video, I'm going to go ahead and do all the timestamps. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for chiming in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.